It's so damn hot. Milk was a bad choice. Maybe we just film here in the shade. Hey, what's up, witches? Coming to you outside from my backyard to do a quick little video on what I would put in my Pagan Starter Kit. So let's get into it. So this little tree back here is actually my little informal outdoor altar where I will sometimes come and leave food and things for the land spirit. But I'm also out here because this would be number one in my Pagan Starter Kit, and that is just establishing some type of ritual or meditation space. I'm outside to show you that you don't need an indoor altar per se. This is just a little tree, flowering dogwood tree. You can kind of see some of the flowers on it still. And this just goes to show you that you can worship and practice paganism anywhere. I also like to go to my favorite local park near me sometimes when I want a little change of scenery or to go on a little outdoor nature walk, but you can always work and worship outside. But I definitely think that establishing some type of designated sacred space, whether that be indoors or outdoors, can just help with practices like meditation and concentration, or just basically what I think of when I think of meditation is just practicing mindfulness. Coming out here on my lunch break like I'm doing now, trying to just even take 10, 15, 5 minutes out of my day to come outside and enjoy it and just observe what's going on around you in nature. Nature, I think, is one of the foundations of paganism and pagan practice. And so just by establishing some sort of designated space that you can go to get away from the hectic, chaotic hustle and bustle of your day, just have that space to help you get into that mindset of, I'm here to connect. I'm here to connect with the land. I'm here to connect with spirits. I'm here to connect with myself. Whatever it may be, just having a designated space that you can come to and do those things is really useful. And along those same lines, setting up an altar or a designated space to practice within your home, if you do want to get into things like spell work or deity work, is just another step that you can take to establish a way of furthering that connection and that focus and concentration that our minds sometimes need to help us connect those mental pathways. Aside from just wanting to have a sacred space to my chosen deities as a way to honor them, having an altar, whether that be for deity work or witchcraft and spell work, can help in that mental focus and establishing that connection by giving yourself those images and symbols to connect with. To further aid in those types of things, the next thing that I would add to my Pagan Starter Kit would be some type of candle, scrying mirror, crystal bowl, or just other object that you can use for what I think Silver Ravenwolf talks about in her books on witchcraft that I've read and reviewed on my channel. She talks about using objects like that for scrying or trance work to help you with the art of mental fascination, which is basically just another way of saying self-hypnosis. And being able to have that object, such as a candle flame or a mirror or just something that you can put all of your focus on, both visually and mentally, just kind of helps you to block out other sensory information, focus your mind and hone your concentration on this one thing. And once you've honed it down to that one point, it's much easier to get into that meditative or trance state and further your work from there. And especially for someone like me who is very disorganized, ADD brain, flaky, call it what you will, but it can be very hard for me to practice things like meditation that require me to sit still for a long period of time. So having something like a candle or my prayer beads or just something that you can focus on for that mental fascination or self-hypnosis is just a very useful tool for me personally to help get into that mind state and then slip into further trance work from there. The next thing that I would definitely recommend putting in your pagan starter kit would be just having a journal or book of shadows, whatever you want to call it, for keeping track of your thoughts, research, spells, shadows, breakthroughs, or just chronicling your personal journey and experience. Whether that just be rituals or spells that you've tried, deities that you've reached out to, and the results that you've had along the way, chronicling different UPGs, signs, all those different things that happen along the path of being a practicing pagan, especially as someone like me who can be very scatterbrained and have a poor short-term memory. It's just very nice, along with just having, this channel to be a video diary of sorts, to have different notebooks and journals where I can keep track of spells and rituals I've tried and results or experiences that I had as a result, so that I know what works and doesn't work, or that I remember these significant experiences and connections and signs that I've received along the way, even, however small or insignificant seeming they may be at the time. You don't need to have 50 different notebooks like me. I just, as someone who is in my head a lot and has so many types of things that I am doing in my personal practice and just types of thoughts, feelings, and experiences that I want to keep track of, I have found it useful to keep separate things for just a personal journal. Like I have a dream journal that I've been keeping for almost 2 years now of significant dreams or reoccurring dreams. I have a shadow work type of journal where I chronicle personal thoughts, shadows, and breakthroughs that I've had just in my inner thoughts and shadow work that I've done with Freya and Hel, etc. I have a book of spells for different spells that I've tried and recipes and all that fun stuff. Go wild. Have as many or as few as you want or need, but I definitely think that having some type of journal or book of shadows to help you keep track of all of the things that you do along the way is helpful. And last but not least, in my pagan starter kit, I would add you should pick up a book of folklore or myths of your choice, especially if deity work is your thing or something that you want to get into. Pick up a book of myths, folklore, and fairy tales of that flavor of deity that you are interested in, and I think that can just really help for establishing a baseline of what to know about deities and their past and what we know of them that's been handed down to us from the past. Especially for me, being an English major, I especially am really delving deep back into folklore and fairy tales and trying to glean what I can from those of what pagan beliefs and practices may have looked like based on what information and lessons are being handed down and conveyed to us through these stories and tales. I think there are definitely some insights, metaphors, and little kernels of truth to be found in these tales. So I'm going to leave you guys with that. This is just a fun little video for me to get dolled up, go outside, and give you guys just some baseline information to take with you when getting together your pagan starter kit. So good luck, take it forth, add and subtract to it, make it yours, and stay classy, pagans.